Hi, FlossTube. It's Jenny from the Cross Stitch Emporium. Did you miss me? I have been gone for a hot minute. So much has gone on. So much. I'm talking with my hands. I'm not Italian. So much has gone on, and it's been super exciting. And then I got COVID. I was on my rear end last week, guys. I am sorry. I meant to come back and tell you all the exciting things that happened the 2 weeks before, and nope. That was not happening. So I'm on the mend, all is fine, but that new strand is yikes. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. Horrible. All right, well, that's not what we're here to talk about. My name is Jenny. I am the owner of the Cross Stitch Emporium. We are an online, in the box, and soon to be brick and mortar shop for cross stitch. So if you've come across this and wondering what I'm talking about, I'm a cross stitch. We're doing lots of cross stitching. I have had to prioritize some things. Not fun. But let's just talk about each little bit and we'll fill you in. And I don't know if this one will be longer, but I've got some stitching and some plans, so I just wanted to bring you all along for that. All right, so what's new? We are preparing for online needlework market, which is not this weekend, but next weekend. And I'm kind of excited. Lots of designers are starting to show their releases, what they're planning on releasing. So they've got things on pre-order. You can, get in line. I don't know that I'm going to. Like, what was fun for me in market is I got to see everything, and then I got to see everything. So I walked away with more than I originally anticipated out of market. So I'm not committing. I'm not taking pre-orders. I'm gonna go in and meet designers and do the things. So, but that got me to thinking, how do I prepare the shop for that? Like, if I'm not taking pre-orders, how do I know what people want? I don't, because I don't get to see you. I don't get that feedback. But if you would leave me feedback below, are you a seasonal stitcher? So in the springtime, you look for those new releases, maybe ordinary things. I say ordinary things, being Catholic, it's like ordinary times, like samplers that you'd want to stitch. Are you a collector of designers? Like, you don't care if, Shelley Fry, Antique Needleworkers, is gonna design it, you're gonna collect it. Whether you stitch it or not, you're gonna collect the pattern. I'm like that with a few people. Are you a seasonal stitcher? Are you getting excited about fall, Halloween, Christmas, winter? Like, how do you think about your stitching? That's things that when you meet stitchers, you get to know about them. I always know, I can do this for this person because, they're a seasonal stitcher and I know they like to stitch Halloween. Or how do I think about the smalls for this retreat? Who's going to be there? Would they rather have just like a little stitching momentum or something, memento, or would they like something to remember the retreat by, or are they looking for a specific holiday to decorate their house? And I learned a lot of that stitching on the prairie. It was so fun to meet a lot of those ladies, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's fun. And so when you're a shop owner or you work in a shop and you get to meet stitchers and you get to understand what they're going to come in looking for, this will be easier. Next year will be easier. This year, I've got a dog underneath my feet, so I gotta be careful not to kick poor Jack. This year's just gonna be a crapshoot. So I'm gonna go in with, what does my shop need to have on the website as a basic stock, and who are the designers that excite me? Guys, I'm not kidding. I'm seeing a lot of cats. Who knew? Who knew we all needed to stitch cats? But we have cats in Christmas lights. We have cats reading books. We have cats. Like, it's just, like, cats are the end thing. It was a little weird for me. I don't want to stitch cats. I mean, I like a good cat now and again for Christmas. Or not for Christmas, but for Halloween, a good black cat. But I don't know. It was just weird. I was like, I also found some stitchers or some designers I've been interested in, and I'm excited to bring them forward and into the shop. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so preparing. Oh, and let's talk fabric for a minute. I'm really starting to get ahead of fabric orders, which meaning like I'll have a stock. Like you can come and you're not going to see sold out. It takes a little bit because fabric is usually a 4 to 6 week lag time from when you order it to when you receive it. But I got to go. So I went to a retreat. Well, so let's talk about that. So I'm bringing in a new fabric designer into the shop. Her name is Red Thicket. Her name is Summer. She is Red Thicket Fabrics, and they're fabulous. I'm so excited. And she's real amenable. She's new. She's young. She's been dyeing fabric for a while, but now she's like dyeing fabric, like as a business. So I'm really excited about this. I've known I've known Summer for, I've been to 3 retreats with her, and hands down, her fabric I think sits right next to Atomic Ranch, sits right next to Bestitch Me, and it holds its own. So excited about that. So that's coming. I wanna look at what I'm bringing into the shop, and then I want to see what fabric I can pull from her so that they can kind of marry together. And I'm excited about that. Super excited. All right. So fabric collectors, do you collect? Do you just buy what you like? And seasonal stitchers. If you could leave those comments below, I have really appreciated the feedback I've been receiving from you. And when you send me a comment, I really do try to respond to you if you email me at jenny@thecrossstitchemporium.com, or if I see a question in the comments below, I do try to respond. Now, I might be a little bit behind because the last 3 weeks have been, wow, busy and fun and exciting. 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. All right. Shop in a box. Let's talk about that. I went to my first retreat. I vended my first retreat. I was so nervous. I was so scared. My friend Shelly, she is Prairie Fire Stitcher. She lives down in Nebraska. I've been to retreats with her, and she jumped on it and said, I'm going to do a retreat. And she said that before I had a business name, but I didn't have any inventory. I didn't know what I was doing. I really don't know what I'm doing still, but I'm learning. And she said, well, come vend my retreat. And I was super excited because Jenny from the Shanty Stitcher over in South Dakota, she was also going to be there. But they had a flood at their store. It's just, weather tragedies are hard. And so she could not be there. And I was kind of really disappointed. I mean, okay, so I might have had to share profits, and but that didn't bother me. Learning from her and seeing what she was going to do was what I was excited about. And anyways, that didn't happen. And I was kind of sad because I was like, I wanted that coordination. I wanted to do all the things. And anyways, it's okay. It's all right. What I did learn was when people when people who don't have a local LNS come to you as a vendor and at a show, it's just good to be available to them. To talk about, like, maybe they went and bought a off the brag table, or not the brag table, the freebie table. People were giving away fabulous charts like Brenda Gervais. I don't know, there was a lot of great giveaways, freebies. And people would come over and we'd do floss conversions. Like I took the wallow floss. That's like, it was 2 panels, flat. It was great. If I think about it and I have pictures, or I'll call Nancy and Amy and see if they have pictures. But there were 2 panels, front and back, filled with floss, and the animal crackers. And animal crackers were selling fast. Floss was selling fast. It was just fun. If somebody's like, I really don't like this pink, like, because some of the charts are kind of dated. And we've talked about this before, but these dye lots on this floss, they change. So, I wish I had the old cinder and the new cinders from Gast, Gentle Arts, because they are completely different. I was like shocked. I was a little nervous. Yeah, I don't have, somebody bought it. Yeah, somebody bought it. Oh, no, they didn't. Here. Okay, you see the variegation? Maybe you can't. This is very variegated. The new one, it's almost a solid color. I don't know. Somebody wanted the solid one. I still have one variegated left if you need variegated cinders, which is weird for me. I was like, wow. And I called and checked. I was like, hey, is this labeled right? And they're like, yep. I was like, okay, great. I found that when I started stitching, I pulled some Plum Streets from early 2020, and I pulled the called for floss because, again, I was new at stitching, and my they're not the same. They're not as vibrant as I think the original was. So it was just fun to pull floss. To sit, and some people, I know I didn't bring DMC because there was a Hobby Lobby in Kearney, Nebraska, and I can't compete with Hobby Lobby prices. So I would hate for somebody to spend 66 cents when they can get it or pull it from their stash, because it was a white. This was one lady. She was so fun when we pulled her. We just kind of looked at the pattern. We made sure we had what we needed and what was covered, and then it was white. And her fabric was beautiful that she picked because she bought the fabric there. And we went and we looked at the whites, and I said, well, what do you like about this? And she was like, I like the way the white pops. And I'm like, and then go use DMC. Pull your favorite white out of DMC. Either the Blanc, the 3865, Ecru, what's the other one? It evades me. But pull your favorite and use it, because that's what she did, and it was awesome. So I'm gonna say about that. It was so much fun. I've sold out of floss. Well, I didn't sell completely out of floss drops, but I had to call Heidi Cottage Cat Designs and ask her for more floss drops. I'm like, I'm out. Floss drops haven't been big sellers on the website, but in person, people love floss drops. I love floss drops, so I understand it. I don't know that I would buy them I buy them from Heidi because I've seen Heidi's, so I know where to go, but in person, I think sometimes you just need to be able to see it. All right, so we talked about that. I'm continuing to add floss. I've got to put in a big order this week. I was hoping to do it last week, but I'll put in a big order this week for floss. Round out some, I've got to get weeks on the website. I have it. It's on the back side of this triangular thing. I just haven't had time to put it up. I was going to do it last week. Inventory floss. And like I said, I was down for the count last week. Last week was just a week of, the only thing I got accomplished last week before I said I can't anymore was I got my oil changed. And then I ended up with an ER visit, and I don't want to have COVID again. I'm glad I'm vaccinated. All right. But now that I've been to one retreat, so I did Stitching on the Prairie. Thank you, Shelly, for inviting me. It was so much fun. I am now going to Crazy Woman. I won't be there the full weekend. I will have to leave on Friday because we leave here. So the reason I didn't go to Crazy Woman this week is because my husband's aunt and uncle live down in Florida, and we do an annual visit with them, and how the dates worked out for this trip was we have to leave on Saturday, and so Crazy Woman ends on Saturday. But I'm gonna go down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'll come home Friday late afternoon, pack up and come home. So I'll be there a good 2 days. So I'm excited about that. I'm also going to Stitch Florida. I know, right? My friend Alicia, the fanciful flamingo, she had asked me to vend. Now, we're not driving. We are flying. But I have a plan, and it involves lots of suitcases, but we're just gonna take the store in a couple big suitcases and have fun. So I'm super excited about that. I was trying to think the most economical things to bring. I think I'm gonna bring a suitcase full of patterns and floss, and a suitcase full of notions, and we're just gonna figure it out, and I'm okay with that. and it'll be a new adventure. So, so it's going to take a lot of like the next 2 weeks. I've got to do a lot of like deliberately setting aside, this is going to this retreat and this will go to this retreat, and still manage the website. Super happy about that. But one thing I had this brilliant idea in the online and in a box shop. I would have my inventory with me when I go in a box. I'll just mail everything when it comes in. Well, I did not bring my fabric to Stitching on the Prairie because Shelly had 2 trunk shows and Summer was there. So there were 3 fabric vendors there. So I didn't want to impede on other people earning money from that. So, and it was another thing, right? It was another thing. I was like, well, that's okay. I don't need that. I don't need to add that layer. And so, you didn't miss me, but I was gone for a second. All right, so my next retreats will be bringing fabric. Super excited about that. So I'm going down to Crazy Woman, so I'll be there for a couple weeks. I'm going to Stitch Florida, and I'm excited about seeing my friends, supporting my friends, and seeing what I can do in a condensed area. And then I have been invited to go to the Northwest Stitchers Retreat in Kalispell, Montana. And that's exciting for me. I've never been up to Kalispell. I know where it is. So I don't know if I'm going alone. I know Nancy can't go because of her job, but I think my friend Amy may or may not be going. I think she's going to go to at least Crazy Woman with me, so I'm not vending alone. And it's okay. I mean, I'm a big girl. I can do it. It's just fun with a friend because they're road trips. So those are where I'm at in a box. Let's talk about brick and mortar. I was sadly disappointed. So the bank that we started banking with when we got here, they've been fine. It's a bank, right? We've banked online for so many years because of being military that I don't really think about banks, because we've not had to be at a physical location. So coming to Sheridan, we wanted to establish ourselves with a local bank. So we picked one that people gave us pretty good reviews about. But what I'm finding is big banks, I mean, you're just a number to them. They don't care. So when we went in and talked to Austin, our banker, the commercial banker, he was great. He really helped us in a lot of ways, learn a few things, and we really appreciated that. But when it came time to, we want to build a pole barn smartly. Like, I have to be able to make a payment on it if I'm going to run the business out of there. And that was the goal, is how can we utilize our funds, utilize bank funds, and make sure we have a payment that's acceptable, so that because I still need to build the store, right? I can't just make a payment on a house or on a shop rent. So I don't know. When we found a way to do it, we were excited. We were like, okay, it's not an option we had considered, but that sounds great. And then we went to the bank, and we were just really quite frustrated, because they're like, the new person we're working with, she's young, and her solution is not really to fight or argue for us. And so it was kind of frustrating. And I don't want to say like we deserved everything, but we are very conservative with our finances. So we have a pretty good nest egg, and we are very, our credit scores are high. So we called our accountant and asked her for some help and advice. And we called down and asked the investment guys that we've been investing with since I was a second lieutenant, like way back in the day in 94. And they weren't extremely helpful. But our accountant was. And she put us in touch with another bank, and things are moving right along now, and we're super excited. And they actually are taking the time to come out and do all the things we need to have done to be able to our funds, bank funds, and make the pole barn. So that all happened, and now we are back on the schedule to break ground on the pole barn. Whew, that was a hot minute, but it was pretty frustrating for a couple of weeks. I was quite disappointed, and honestly, I had to be like, okay, if that's where that is, I don't want to put my family in financial, kapoots because I have a dream. Let me work a little harder and figure out how to finance that dream. And we all kind of came together and figured that out. So we're back on track, just a little behind my want to be schedule, but I was prepared to push that off for maybe a year or two if I had to. Maybe even go in town, even though I don't want to pay $2,000 to $3,000 in rent plus utilities. That was a lot for me. I was like, I don't even know if I can make that. I don't know. I'm sure you can. But so going back to my little piece of advice calendar here, it says, sometimes you just got to go all out and put 2 sugars in your coffee. Yes, sometimes you do. Sometimes a cup of black coffee is not going to work. Put the sugar in it. That's where I was 2 weeks ago. That rolled up about the time the bank said, here's your piddly money. Go forth. And I was like, well, that drains everything. I don't know. It was just a moment. But I'm back on track. And I had to find that. We had to go through that to get where we are. So we're back on track. Super excited. Let's talk about some stitching, shall we? All right. I've got what I've been stitching on. I've got what I want to stitch on. I've got what I'm thinking about. So for the next, I just dropped everything. All right. Brilliant, right? Hang on. All right, here we go. I've got 2 stitch alongs. And okay, so I need to put this out there. This chart is amazing. If you are interested in a Zoom so that we can stitch this chart together and get to know each other, because this baby's going to be with us for a minute. Some stitchers in the group on Facebook they're like, the roof is done. I had plans to do a lot of fill-in. Here's mine. I did not get a lot of filling in done because I just didn't get a lot of stitching done. I had the best time talking and meeting stitchers. It's okay. But my goal is to just buckle down and really just start working on this one. It's going to become my stitch a day. So this is Celebrations. I don't know if I'm going to keep restocking this chart. I think it has a purpose and intent, and it'll be a great 4th of July stitch. But at some point in time, people are not going to want to stitch this. Or maybe they do. If you're a stitcher and you're interested, let me know. I can restock it. It is available for restock. I also have friends who have it in their shops, and I would be happy to point you in their directions too if you are interested in that. I'm just trying to make some decisions on whether we're going to... I have some floss on back order still. I'm hoping it ships soon, and so we'll get that worked out. But for those, I owe you floss. But here we are. That's Celebrations. That's it right there. The next stitch along I've got going on is Strength and Dignity by Annie, the Proper Stitcher. It's the Proper Stitcher. I just know Annie, so I always say it's by Annie, and then I have to remember that maybe you need to know by her design name and not necessarily her name. And I am at about the same spot. I don't want to rush this one. I need to get moving on it a little bit more, but I just don't want to rush it. I'm trying to decide the best way to think about stitching, like when to put it into the rotation. Do I work on it twice a week? Because honestly, she could be done in about 3 days. but I don't want the stitch along to end. All right, the next one, I told you with animal crackers, they'll come to me as they make me happy. Well, she makes me happy. So this is the new one. I'm currently out of stock with her. She sold out at the retreat, but she's on order, so I should be getting them next week probably. But this is Henny Penny and her needle roll. I am going to do both, but she is going to be some fill-in. Whew. And I will tell you, I sat down and tried to stitch this apron like 3 times. I thought maybe I'd put the dots in, but what I found out is that I was tired and I had to take the dots out twice. So she is on a piece of mystery fabric, but I don't know, she just makes me happy. Those are the called for colors. I am going to, the only one I have to think about is I either have to make sure I have enough of, is it linen? Yeah, it's Weeks linen. I don't think I have enough of the piece of the skein I have. I don't think I have enough. So I need to figure out the white that I'm going to do her in. Or I need to order it. I think I have it. I think it's over there. But all right. Now, this is stitching that I've already been working on. I just need to get it done. But last year I stitched these for Annie. And I loved them. But I wanted, like, Annie was looking for elegant Halloween, and she nailed it. I wanted just a bit more color in mine. So here's what I did. I picked these 3 colors because these are the colors that my Halloween are in, that I decorate my house in. And so I finished this one. Now this is my second time stitching it. So I'm going to do, all Halloween. I'll probably do it more in this gold color with a little black, or maybe I'll do it in the orange. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out. It's charted all in black. And then for this house, I'm going to do all of it in black. I'll do the pumpkins in orange, and I'll probably put a few leaves of green in. But this is 36 count. It's a Cedar River. I don't know. It's a Cedar River though. So I'm super excited to get this one, pull this one out and work on it. I also have to find some stitches that I can stitch in the car, because we're going down to the academy in a couple weeks to fulfill that duty that we signed up for. Anyways, there's a lot going on. All right, and then the last one, and these are ones I carry that are being carried in the shop. I have a whole other line of stitching that I've got going on that I'll show on Bougie Stitchers when Nancy and I record this weekend. But this is shop fill-in. So last year I thought I was trucking right along on this thing. This is Lit by the Artsy Housewife, and I love this guy. But I started counting off on his antlers wrong. So I was stitching along, I was just going, and then I realized that my antlers were gonna, anyways, it was a hot mess. So this is a piece of Bestitch Me. Steve picked the color. His antlers really pop on this, and then I need to think about how I want to do the little lights. I wanted to do them a little brighter because I like those bright big sea bulbs, but maybe I won't. Maybe Gigi has a way with color that I just think, why am I messing with it? But Gigi also has no joke borders, so this border is fun to stitch. It's very rhythmic. So all right, now those are what I have in progress and I need to keep working on. I'm finding that I have stitch time. There are days I don't have stitch time, like hours of stitch time, but I do have stitch time. And I want to be able to stitch to make sure that when I introduce a new designer, that I can, one, I can read their charts clearly, and two, if you have questions, you can call me, because I want to be there for you. Because designers are really good. If you call them, I'm sure they'll answer. But maybe you just need a quick answer, and I want to be a resource for you. So I gotta be stitching all the designers. All right, now here's my next set of. In the next couple of days, I'm going to figure out where my plans lie. I am 100% sure it's this one. This is the one. She's a swan, Halloween Swan by Lucy Beam. She makes my heart happy. I'm probably going to do her on gray, not blue. All right. I don't know where I've been in life, but who does not need this jingle ball? It's jingle all the way, dear. I know. Makes you happy, doesn't it? Makes me happy. These two are a couple day stitch. So I'm going to stitch Boo You and Thankful You by the Proper Stitcher. I'm going to do her on gray, and I'll probably do her on some type of called for linen, which is, this is Pistachio Frappe by Grace Notes. Annie did all of these on the same fabric, and they're cute, but I'm not sure. I gotta figure that out. But I'm dying to get some turkeys in my house for Thanksgiving. So these two are on the docket. I'll be pulling there. I'll probably just pull the DMC again and just use the parchment for the sheep. All right, this one. I can't decide which one I want to stitch. This is Quirky Autumn by Twin Peaks. Yeah, Twin Peak Primitives. I always want to add an S on the. I'm not a fan of scarecrows, but look at that turkey. Look at the pumpkins. The quail makes me happy. The squirrel makes me happy, and the acorns make me happy. So I would like to do one of these. Again, one is, you get all of them. Maybe I'll do the pumpkin with all this pumpkin. Okay. I need another big stitch in my life. Like I need another gray hair. But here's where I'm at. When I saw this at market, this is by Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. I feel like I can put her out right now because of the sunflower, and she can sit out until I take Halloween down. Right? Oh, but she's kind of a big girl. She's a 286 by 216. I don't know where my glasses are. I've been between here and my other room serging fabric. So Winifred's Bride. There's a quilt by this too. Now, the model is stitched on 32 count Cafe Latte by Grace Notes. I love Corinne. I don't have that in the shop. I might call Summer and see if she can help me out on that one. All right, this was on my docket last year to do, and I didn't get it started. But I really want to stitch Holy, Holy, Holy by Cosford Rise Stitchery. It's kind of got a glare, sorry. I think Silent Night and the Nativity, I just love it at Christmas. So that one makes me, she's going to be a little work, but I'll probably start that one in November. This one has been on my mind for 2 years now. Last year and this year, so 2 years. Hello from Liz Matthews. Boo Spook Haunt. I just love it. And this one isn't too bad. This one it's not on 36, it's 155 by 68 high. I mean, the ghosts will be a trick or treat. And the last one that I really would like to start, because Lord knows I need another big house to stitch, is Little House Needleworks Joy to the World. I don't know. Annie's got a series 2 of houses that I really want to stitch. It's kind of like one for every season with a religious saying, but this one is Joy to the World. It's another song, Christmas carol I love. So I do have these all in the shop. I don't know, like I love being in this room. I love looking at the floss. I love trying to decide on what fabric I would stitch these on, and they make me happy. I love being a shop owner. I love just being in my space and hearing from you, and I some of you are my friends. I know, I realize that, and you text me, and that just brings me great joy. Some of you just have my email because I'm just a shop owner to you, but you still email me, and some of you find me on Facebook. I love that. I love connecting with you. So, please don't stop. I'm small enough. I'm not a Walmart. I'm not a Hobby Lobby. I'm not, I want to be a shop that, you feel you're valued in. So, please don't feel that you can't reach out. And if I don't come back to you, I've missed it somehow. It's not a slight. It comes to a point that I don't know how I missed it, or sometimes I'll open an email and I'm like, oh, I need to address this, and sometimes I don't get back to it. I really try to stay on top of my emails. I was a little behind. So, all right, with that, I hope Nancy and I are going to record this weekend, maybe. We'll see how that goes. She starts school. They went to work today, and school starts next week for Gillette. I think Sheridan still's a couple weeks, but school starts next week for Gillette, and so she's busy. But we're gonna make it a priority to still record on Bougie Stitchers. She also came down with COVID. She got it before I did. Like she came down sick before I did, but it's what it is. We're sisters. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a long one, but it's been a couple weeks and we've had lots to share. So I hope you are able to find time in your schedule to create. I want you to imagine what's going to make you happy. I want you to believe you can do it, and then I want you to create it. It doesn't have to be something from my shop. You might have a stitch in your stash. You might just need a little encouragement. So I'm really excited to think about Zooms that bring stitchers together, to maybe give them a chance to come in and talk and just chat amongst each other and meet new friends. And have space at the shop when it's there. And there's a fiber guild here in Sheridan where I feel like stitchers might not know about it, but maybe we need something at night instead of just during the day, because it's hard for working moms and working stitchers that have 9-to-5 jobs to get away. So maybe there needs to be something at night. So I'm going to think about that for the next month or two, and then when the shop's open, maybe I'll have a late night. So we'll figure it out. But until then, I hope your stitches lay flat and you find peace in your stitching. Take care of each other. Bye.